let's have another Just Flying episode. So the plan for today is leaving here, which is NZTG Tauranga, and we're going to have a trip over to NZAP Taupo. Nothing on the apron to get in our way. And looking at the map, there's no aircraft incoming either. So we can taxi up to the end and should be good to go for a departure straight away. Yeah, a little evening flight this one, or evening in the game anyway. So in reality for me, I woke up very early today. I usually do the typical kind of 8 hours worth of sleep, but I've had 6. So that was still quite a bit. I'm fairly rested when I woke up, and by the time I'd been to the toilet, I'd probably woken myself up by then and thought, yeah, near enough. Let's get dressed, get up properly, put the kettle on, so I can always have another hour's nap on the sofa later if I feel like I want to. I'm sure I'll be fine. So yeah, it's actually about 5:30 in the morning for me, sat here right now. Nothing else to do, so a bit of flying sounded like a good idea. Yeah, we're in the X-Plane 12 Baron again. Probably do a bit of autopilot today, as I've got the VOR at Rotorua tuned in. So we can head for that first, and then Taupo has an NDB, so we can use that to take us to the airport after that. That's our plan. And lights, flap sorted. Yep, we're all good to go. Yeah, that's either a very nice sunset or large parts of North Island are on fire. I'm not sure which. I'm going to go with sunset probably, but yeah, you never know. Right, let's go for it. We're up. Looking good. Small left turn towards Rotorua. By the look of the map, 4,600 is our safe altitude for ground clearance, so 4,600-ish it will be. Although VOR needles nearly lined up anyway, so we can go straight to nav. Yep, that's on. Appears to be working as intended. So yep, all good. That's without putting in any altitude. That should just hold that rate of climb. So that'd be nice. Yeah, looking at that sunset, that's a weird thing I heard recently. As we know, some people are born totally deaf, and I mean 0% hearing. Then with its advances in medical science, and depending on the cause of the deafness, some of these people can have operations or devices fitted or whatever it may be, which gives them some kind of hearing to varying degrees, so it's the very first time they've ever heard anything. And apparently quite a few of those people say that they're quite surprised that the sun doesn't make a noise, as they were expecting it to be quite loud. Yeah, but okay, I like a bit of science, especially astrophysics and things like that, so I know from all of that, of course you can't hear the sun. But for a layperson who doesn't really know things about sound waves or even what the sun actually is, yeah, you can kind of see why you might think that. Think that it's going to be this big noisy thing in the sky. Yeah, I suppose it's one of those information things really, isn't it? Talking about information, let's turn that on. Yeah, because once upon a time people didn't know certain stuff, and with all the information that was available to them, it was actually quite reasonable to assume that we were stationary and the sun orbited around us. It's only the passage of time and better science that we've gained more info and then realised that nope, it's the other way round and we're the ones orbiting the sun instead. Although the passage of more time and you get to the internet and now you can find a whole bunch of idiots who've regressed again and gone back to the days of the sun orbiting us, or in going round in circles around our flat earth, or whatever it may be. There probably should be some kind of test, exam, evaluation or whatever to get a license to breed, to bring children into the world. Yeah, a bit of genetic engineering like that. Yeah, that could be a good thing where we can slowly remove the flat earth DNA from the gene pool. Yeah, I could vote for that. Altitude set 4,600, so we're good. Yeah, currently Boxing Day, by the way, 26th of December. Just in case you're watching this in the future, in which case, hello from the past. Yeah, had a very nice Christmas yesterday with a now traditional day out at my brother's place. His wife does dinner and she's a very good cook, so that's always great. Their 3 daughters and also granddaughter are there too, and nice to see them. I meet up with my brother regularly, but my nieces and great niece, is that a thing, title? Don't know. Probably. Well, with the girls, we don't live particularly local to each other, so we often only get to say hello at Christmas in person. And the other nice tradition started a few years ago was actually my brother saying, look, each year you buy me things like gift vouchers for shops I don't want to go to, I buy you vouchers that you don't want. Should we all just not bother anymore? So the little one, I think 12, 11, 12, yeah, I think she's 12. Well, she gets a card with some cash in it and I'll always bring a bottle of wine to say thanks for dinner. But other than that, every year I have no Christmas shopping to do at all, and it's absolutely lovely. Don't get any presents either, but really don't care about that. Lightning. Who knows, maybe that is correct, but I do think this weather engine in X-Plane has moments where it just makes shit up. Yes, today we'll have broken cloud, light rain, a moderate volcanic eruption, aurora borealis, and I'll turn the volume up on the sun so it's really noisy and loud. Big white squares in the lake. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I know what that is. Bear with me, just a little quick fix in WED, reload, and the squares have gone. Back to flying again. Yeah, what that was, I had a message from somebody not long after we got X-Plane 12 saying that they'd found big white squares in the lake by Rotorua. So I've looked into it, and it's actually an animated sailboat object. And basically the animation is a central point and then a boat placed well away from that, and it slowly turns in a circle around that centre. So the boat actually moves on the water. In X-Plane 12, something happened and that whole area covered by the animation turns into a big white square. So that boat object is now useless in the current sim. I had used those boat objects in a few sceneries, so I've had to delete it from those. I thought I'd deleted it from here as well. I know I fixed it for the guy who messaged me, and thought I uploaded the fixed version to the mega folder too, so don't know, maybe I've just copied the old wrong one back into my system by mistake, so yeah, really not sure, but just in case, yeah, if you go to Rotorua and see big white squares, by the time I upload this video, I will have already replaced NZRO in the mega folder with this version that we're looking at now. So if you don't have big white squares, great, carry on, ignore this. If you do have big white squares, get the mega folder updated version, and that should fix it. The airfield right there, so if we go over to heading mode now, track NDB. Yeah, kind of half use the NDB, but visibility is very good, so I'm sure just heading in this general direction, it's going to be easy enough to spot the lake. Yeah, we wouldn't have any problems getting there just visually, would we? That's probably 10-15 minutes at a guess. Yeah, we're going to get there long before it gets dark, so yeah, I'm sure we'll be fine. It's a fairly nice day ahead. Yeah, I'll edit this video a bit later, as there are bits to cut out. It's that reload of the scenery when I edited Rotorua. Reloading does actually take quite a while in reality, and you don't want to sit looking at the load screen for 30 seconds or whatever it takes. I'm sure it's more than that sometimes. Depends how many airfields or other scenery items within the local area. You know, how much of that does X-Plane have to reload? And with all the NZ scenery, you know, it's never quick. Let's also clip the start and the end of the video as well, so that will look right. Yeah, a little bit of editing before I upload this to YouTube, and amongst all of that, there's lots of Boxing Day football on TV, including my own team, Birmingham City, a bit later. Although I'm not particularly hopeful, as they are playing shite at the moment. Various other sporty stuff on TV too, so yeah, I'm sure I'll be watching some of that. Who knows, might have another flight, might have a game of computer golf, and yeah, just generally putting my feet up and not doing anything particularly productive all day long. I like that as a plan. Oh, by the way, the golf course videos that I'd started doing, they have now died. Probably not going to bother with those anymore. Now, they found a website forum kind of thing called TGC Tours, where users of that PGA 2K23 game upload details about courses they've created for everybody else to see. And I've posted a couple of things on there now, so yeah, that will do to advertise any golf courses I make in the future. There's at least some actual users of the game, or well, of the game and the forum, they'll get to see it. It's kind of much like my airports, where I enjoy making stuff. If people enjoy using those things, then great. But if nobody flies to an airport or plays a golf course, I really don't care. So that's good enough for advertising golf course stuff there. Sausage sandwich on toast. Nope, sausage and egg on toast. That's going to be breakfast after I land. And then, to keep up my completely lazy day, I've actually got a ready meal in the fridge which I'll have later. So let's just shove the whole thing in the oven in one go and then come back later, so that there's no real work involved with cooking. So, it's a king prawn linguine. And I've had one of those before. It's the same thing from the same shop, so I know it was really lovely then, and looking forward to another one of those later. Might have a look on YouTube later too, just to see if my local airport's on. So, not sure how long he's been doing it, but there's a guy called Kevin. He's got a YouTube channel called Airport Action, and he does plane spotter streaming from Birmingham EGBB. And it's quite nice to have on, especially as I've got multi-screens, well, 3 of them, so I can dump his stream on the screen to one side and do something else at the same time. Birmingham isn't a majorly busy airfield anyway, with a few ATRs and 737s and stuff like that, but there is a daily Emirates A380 and an occasional 747 cargo aircraft too, so those are quite nice, as you can have really good views at Birmingham, straight at the end of the runway and fairly close to it. And it's also nice with the optical illusion of the runway from there, because there are some undulations, but looking sideways on from the departure lounge, as I have done many times when I've flown out of there, you hardly notice that it's not flat. Where the fuck's this rain coming from? So it looks flat enough from the side, but the kind of view you get from the end of the runway, it looks like there's been some major earthquake and it would be a complete roller coaster to land on. Now, if you've no idea what I'm talking about or haven't seen it, have a look in the description here and I'll link one of Kevin's videos which you might find interesting. Especially as we did have quite a good storm the other day. There's a big crosswind and there were a few go-arounds, but the A380 actually had 2 go-arounds, Third time lucky, and they did land eventually. And I'm fairly sure he did upload that A380 clip as a separate thing. So yeah, check the description, and that's the one I'll link. I mean, he doesn't do spotting every day. I'm thinking about this out loud now. Not sure how busy the airport is today either. So I'm thinking there probably won't be a stream from him today, but never mind. Although interesting as well that it said people send in super chats and make donations, and it's actually enough where it's now his job. Yeah, modern world and the internet, yeah, but it does seem a bit weird still that you can actually now make a living from plane spotting. Kevin seems a nice guy. His presentation style good. There's a friendly community in the live chat of his regular viewers. Yeah, maybe it's just him. As I'm thinking, if I started streaming a plane spotter, I was going to say maybe I wouldn't be quite as popular, but actually, who knows? I mean, he stood there being family friendly for hours. In these just flying videos where I don't mind what I'm saying, I rarely make it past 30 minutes without a shit fuck or rambling off on some weird tangent. So yeah, I probably would watch me. Yeah, with Kevin you get commentary on a rough landing of things like, oh, careful there, that was a little bounce. And, yeah, with me you'd probably get something more like, Jesus fucking Christ, Captain Bouncy, what the hell was that? Yeah, adults only plane spotting. Yeah, I would watch that. Anyway, getting closer now, so time to start thinking about my own landing and hopefully avoiding a Jesus fucking Christ moment. The wind is going to be about 10 degrees of tailwind, but I can live with that and have a straight in approach rather than flying past the airfield, turning around and coming back in the other way, as that would mean an extra 5 minutes before I get my sausage and egg sandwich, and I'm not doing that. It's only 8 knots, there's much more runway length than we'll ever need, so yeah, slight tailwind will be fine. I've seen that lake in real life. Yeah, I had about half an hour lunch stop at Taupo, so yeah, been there but didn't really get to see much with that short amount of time. Well, it seems a big enough place where doing something like stopping overnight, having a whole day, yeah, it could be interesting. So, yeah, size of Taupo, there's likely to be something to keep me amused. And I am quite easily amused, so it doesn't take much. Just wandering around, getting lost, finding somewhere that sells coffee. So, yeah, I can do that for hours. Time to kill the autopilots. I'll take it from here. Got a button on my joystick which I was just pressing that supposedly turns the autopilot on and off, but that didn't work for some reason. So mouse and doing it in the cockpit it is, which obviously works, but it's a bit more of a pain in the backside than the joystick button, so I'll have to check that out later. See what went wrong. That looks like rather like a runway over there, doesn't it? Yeah, that's the one. Bit too much speed at the moment, but I think we should be able to get that under control. Looks like we've got enough distance. Yeah, I mean, ideal world would have had things stabilised a little sooner. Especially with landing gear down, there's plenty of drag to help slow us down, so yeah, that's all going to be good. Yeah, doing fine with this approach. Can't see any plane spotters to wave at the end of the runway, so yeah, we'll just carry on straight in. Close enough where I'm ignoring red lights now, just doing this visual. Yeah, I know I'm a bit low, but yeah, get down. And we have landed. Yeah, didn't seem too bad, that one. And brakes. Brakes and even more brakes. Want to try and get off at that turn off if I can. Okay, let's have another little look, shall we? Yes, that was a spur of the moment decision. Usually land with no power with the old X-Plane 11 Baron. Shall we try landing with a little bit of power still on, but we just seem to float forever until I did pull the power off. Right then, sublights there. Do that. Yeah, head back onto the apron. Then we'll turn to the right over towards the new was going to say towers, new terminal. Tower's over there, isn't it? Yeah, brand new terminal in real life, so hopefully you saw the update from a little while ago, one of the scenery update things as I moved down the country, where yeah, it's a bit of a redo here. Might need some further tweaking in the future, as this is all so new with this terminal building and the new shape to this hard surface asphalt area that there's not really much in the way of photos or videos or anything to go on yet. As time goes by, a bit more info will show up on the internet, I'm sure, and yeah, can always come back and update something again. I suppose that's the thing with X-Plane scenery, it's never truly finished, is it? You can always come and tweak something because it changes or gets better. Yeah, that will do then. We've arrived. Right, so yeah, I'm off to go and do something totally unproductive for the entire rest of the day, and I shall thoroughly enjoy doing it. See you soon.